name is Chandra Gore, and I am a contributor for SwagHer magazine. So I would first like to thank you so much for talking to me today. But my first question, because I want to dive right in, is your background and what brought you to movie production, film production and direction.
Yes. It really, I hate to say things happen on accident because I'm a strong believer that, God orders our steps and
Hmm.
things are not an accident. But I didn't grow up wanting to be a film director or writer or producer or anything like that. I used to be super, super shy. So anything that involved leading or, working with people definitely wouldn't have thought that. But at 11 years old, I had a teacher that told me to write down some of my life experiences. You might be thinking, 11, what life experiences do you have? But at that time, I had skipped 2 grades. I had become a national gymnastics champion. And she just said, write it down. And I feel like people would be inspired by your story. So I did. And in doing that, I published my first book called On to Victory when I was just 12 years old. So that got me
Oh,
into writing and realizing that I really love to write. And so I've been writing books since I was 12. I have multiple books out. And just as I got older, I went from wanting to just only write books to also wanting to write screenplays and writing movies. And so I just started writing scripts when I was 15. And I actually wrote the first version of Finding Tony back then when I was only 15 years old and kind of let the script sit a little bit. And it's grown over time into what it is today. And so as I got older, when I got about 27, 28 years old, I had the opportunity to work with Robin Givens. She directed my film Haunted Trail. And so Haunted Trail was my first film that I was able to write, produce, co-direct, and that came out on BET Plus, BET, Amazon Prime. It's on Tubi now, so it's pretty much everywhere. And that got me thinking, okay, I can do this. I can really do this. I can be a female director, writer, producer. And so after the success of Haunted Trail, I went back to the script that I wrote years ago with Finding Tony and decided to produce that. And now I'm super excited about where that'll take my career.
I'm just, it's not the fact that, because I stumbled into my career path as well by accident, but it was a culmination of everything that I had already done. And
Right.
I love to hear that you said you skipped grades, because that was
Yes.
that is something that's jarring, because I did too. And it's like, yo, so it is,
Okay.
it is a thing. So I love the
Yes.
fact, but you writing at such a young age is amazing, and then for you to bring Finding Tony, it was birthed a long time ago,
Right.
and it evolved and became what it
Yes.
is today. That is like, that goes to show you the seeds you plant,
Yes.
will eventually grow into something amazing. So,
Exactly.
um, but 4 years you've done all of this.
Yes. It's been a fun ride. It's been a really fun ride. I've learned a lot. And it's just a testament to never giving up on your dreams and making stuff happen when you really want it to. And then of course I've gotten a lot of help. I've met a lot of great people, been able to network with a lot of people. My family is super supportive. My mom is an executive producer on Finding Tony. My husband is an executive producer. My dad is a co-executive producer. My brother is in the film. So I definitely have a very supportive family. But yeah, it's been a ride and I've learned so much. I didn't go to film school. I am a motivational speaker also. So I'll speak to
Mhm.
people all the time and they'll say, well, how did you get into this? Do I need to go to film school too? And I'm like, no, I Googled everything to start off. And then I've just learned, no, honestly, I Googled how to write a script and I said, I'm going to do it. And I did it. And I've just learned a lot, even being on set and being able to work with seasoned actors like Stephen Bishop and David Banner and, all of these different individuals. Even on Haunted Trail, working with Robin Givens, I treat everything as a classroom. And
I
so, yeah, I just learn from everyone.
I'm just in disbelief because Robin Givens has been in the industry for such a
Yes.
long time. Like, so just to know that, like, she's a seasoned vet, that's awesome to actually learn from her.
Right, exactly. So, and I learn from everyone. I learn from those that are at the top, like you just said, Robin Givens, and I learn from those that may not be as recognizable, but I just feel like you can learn something from everyone. I feel like I'm one of those people who feels like even a broken clock is right twice a day. So
It is.
I'm a sponge and I learn, and I've learned a lot over the past 4 years through mistakes and failures, but I'm a person that never gives up, and we're here.
And that's a good thing. So you secured a partnership deal with the NBA?
Yes, so it's not necessarily me partnered with the NBA, but what happened is I was able to partner with one of their top athletes right now, which
Mhm.
is Anthony Davis with the Lakers. And so it's through his production company that we're partnered with for the film Finding Tony. And so, yes, that was, it's been an amazing experience to be able to work with him and his team. And the fact that he's so excited about the film. Sometimes you might get involved with the project and you don't like the ending result, or things happen, but he loves the film and is so excited about it, and that makes me feel really good that he's like literally giddy about the project.
Because it's one of those things like where it says, well, you're right, all star, but it's like they do. People like they say, oh, they're just a player, but they diversify within their interest and stuff. So it
Yeah,
was a good thing that, I mean, this production really aligns with what goes on in the NBA, and I love that someone was like of his caliber was on got on board.
yes,
So I just feel like how to put this, the storyline or the plot of it is different. It
yes,
stands out because there's so many movies, so many productions that have a protagonist as a basketball player, football player,
yes,
but you're providing a different view of that
yes,
because you're including the mental health part, you're
right,
including grief, you're including all
right,
of those things, which is thought provoking.
yes.
And
um
so,
Yeah, no, thank you. And like I said, the story has grown because I think the version that I wrote back when I was 15 didn't include all of these elements to the extent that it does now. Because, I'm 31 now. So to be a 15-year-old versus 31-year-old now, I have my own, family and things like that. And I can just imagine, oh my gosh, if something were to happen to my husband, just that grief, just being able to draw off of life experiences to make the film what it is. And I think as I started adding in all of these different things, I realized, these are topics that are important and things that people really go through. And I'm glad we were able to touch on them in the way that we did.
I love that. And so, I want to segue because this month is Stress Management Awareness Month.
Okay.
So, because of the fact that you are working in an industry that is always changing, it's ever changing, you're dealing with different personalities,
Yes.
long shoot days, things of that nature. How are you managing stress? How are you coping and dealing with it?
Yes. For me, it's a matter of being intentional. And it's being intentional about the balance between work and play and taking care of myself and all of that. It's very easy to kind of get into work and just work, work, work 100% of the time. And you do stress yourself out. And, I'm not going to say I'm just completely stress free. I think we
Right.
understand that the job can be stressful, but then it's just taking a step back and reminding myself, okay, Raven, you got to take care of you so that you can be the best mother and wife and daughter and producer and director and all these things. So I do intentionally say, on this day, I'm not going to work. I'm going to go get my nails done. I'm going to go, take the baby to my mom so me and my husband can have a date night, or, just whatever things that I need to do like that to make sure that my cup is being filled too. Because I went through a phase in my life where I wasn't filling my cup and I was sad and down and, depleted. But when I said, you know what, if I take care of myself, then I can do all the things that I love, but I have to start with me. That's when I was able to see even more success in my career than I had before. So it's very important to be intentional, planning those date nights, planning to rest. And it sounds like counterintuitive, planning to rest. Like, yeah, sometimes I'll say in my schedule, you're not doing anything for this block of time. And that doesn't mean you're not doing anything and do everything else. It means no, sit down, relax, maybe watch a movie. So yes, the word is intention for me.
I love that. And so you have some amazing events coming up, where you have the red carpet premiere in LA. And then also, I see that you're doing an HBCU movie screening.
Yes.
What is the significance of that? Like, what, like, I mean, Clark Atlanta, everybody knows Clark Atlanta. So,
Yes.
what, what does that, I mean, because you're actually going in front of students, they're going to see your work and
Yeah.
knowing, showing. So what impact do you want that screening to have on those mass media art students?
I want them to be inspired by the film itself, but then also by my story too. And I think that I didn't even realize the impact that I was having on students until we did the all-star screening. And
Mhm.
there were two young ladies that came up to me after the screening that went to HBCUs, and they were just so inspired, wanted to keep talking to me, asking me questions, say how it was so awesome that someone that looked like them was doing what I was doing. And that was kind of like the light bulb moment of, you're not just doing this for yourself or your family, you're doing this for a lot of people. There's a lot of people inspired by you and looking up to you. And so that's when I kind of made the firm decision, no, we've got to do a screening at an HBCU for students. I would love to do many more. So to be able to have that screening and reach out to those students that are, studying mass media and film, it's going to be really cool. And to also be able to talk with them about the film, what their thoughts. So I'm super excited about it.
I'm excited too, because it's like I love seeing women who look like me actually, because I love, people we need representation, and
Right.
this is an industry that's really male white dominated,
Yes.
so it's like, we're carving a path, so that more will be, they will follow as well. I do want to ask about working with Stephen Bishop.
Yeah.
Now, I followed his career. There's some roles that he played so well, I'm still mad at him about, but
I get
but
it.
yeah, but for him to be able, I think that was a choice. Did you cast him, or did you have him in mind for this role?
Oh, yes. We definitely had him in mind for this role. I took my time with casting who Tony was going to be because I knew that that was such an important role and there were so many layers, and whoever we casted had to be able to really portray those layers and do it in an innocent way as well, because he's working with all these females and I didn't want any type of, view misconstrued about, why is this man coaching these females, or is there any other things going on. And no, I wanted it to be just, purely platonic, that he was doing this out of the goodness of his heart, that the females really respected him. So that was just very touchy. I knew that that person had to be casted perfectly. And so my husband and I were actually watching the show, The Terminal List, with Chris
Mm-hmm.
Pratt and Stephen Bishop. And we saw him come across the screen, and my husband said, you know what, I think he would be perfect as Tony. I said, oh my gosh, you are so correct. We just kind of had the thought at the same time. And so I knew when we had that thought, I said he's him, he's Tony. And so the next day, just had the casting director reach out to him and literally got a reply. It seemed like within 24 hours, and they were reading the script. They read the script in a day, and he was all, for it. He told his agent whatever we need to do to make it happen, and he literally is the perfect Tony. I'm so glad that we casted him.
Yeah, because I will say yes, that is because of his sports back. Like, it is actually, I
Yes.
can't wait to, I can't wait for it to drop
You're
because
gonna enjoy it. Yes, he did
oh,
an amazing job.
I love it. I love it. So, what words of encouragement would you want to leave with anyone, male or female, on how to pursue things that, how to pursue things that they feel like are unattainable for them, you
Yes.
know?
I'm a big believer that we have to get rid of the how. I talk to people, across the world as a motivational speaker, talking to them about their goals, what they want to do. And a lot of times people get caught up in the how. Well, I want to do this, but how am I going to make that happen? And what happens is people just don't even start because they're trying to figure out how they're going to get from A to Z. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times it's not about trying to get from A to Z, it's just getting from A to B and B to C. And I always use the analogy about driving your car through the night. Like you can drive it from LA to New York if you want to, right? All you have to do is be able to see the 200 feet in front of you that your headlights allow you to see. You don't have to see New York from LA to get to New York. You just need to be able to see those 200 feet. And that's like the short term goals we set in our life. When we say, I'm going to complete these tasks today, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take the first step and then the second step. That's all that means. And as long as we're driving down the road towards our goals and we're unveiling these 200 feet with our headlights, sooner or later, you're going to look up, you're going to be at your destination. You don't have to get so caught up in what's every road I'm going to take in order to get there. No, just start and things will reveal itself. And so that's oftentimes my biggest piece of advice that I give people. You want to do something, do it, start, take the first step. And I promise you, you'll know what to do for the second and the third, and everything will reveal itself. Don't get so caught up in the how that you don't start at all.
I want it. See, y'all listen to that. Because that is so, that right there is the truth of what needs to happen, and I love that people like, I hope that that helps anyone who is watching or listening or will read
Yes.
this. I really want, that is the most best way to, inspire someone to get up and just do.
Yes.
So I really want to thank you so
Oh,
much
no,
for
thank
chatting with
you.
me today. I'm looking forward to the movie. I know, I can't wait.
Thank you. Thank
Like,
you so much for having me. And I'm just super excited for you to see the film as well.
yes, thank you so much. And we will chat. I know there's going to be more projects. So
Yes,
please make sure y'all keep me in mind.
most definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good day.
You too.
Alrighty.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.